am working with an SVG file from Go Create Craft, and I have placed it onto my work surface in Cricut Design Space, and you can see here that it comes with multiple elements and I don't need them all. I'm going to just turn the eye off on those elements that I don't need, and what we're going to keep is the rectangular shape and the solid flower. We're going to be making a card using this file. And so now the next thing you see me doing here is I'm going to size it to fit on a 4x6-inch card. So I'm using my grid and placing the card front on it to see how it will fit in a 4x6 space. Now I'm doing it with the flower as well because the flower is going to fit the card front. So I want to scale both of them at the same time. And so now I'm happy with that placement. I'm looking at the flower. There's 3 of them on the piece I'm going to be using, so I'm going to duplicate the flower. I'm just doing Command Copy, Command Paste on my keyboard. And so now that I have 3 flowers, you can see, and the card front. Next thing I want to do is add a sentiment that's going to go in that black oval shape, and I'm going to use the word hello. Now I'm using a font that comes from my system. You can use what works for you, and I am just going to size it to that that oval shape. And so you can see here I'm adjusting the size, and I will also be changing the color on that. So I'm looking for the fit, and now I'm just going to change the color from black to a different color. The other thing I want to do is, because it's a cursive font, I want to weld it together so it doesn't cut each letter individually, but it cuts as one large piece. So after I have set up my file to cut on Cricut, I want to show you how I've laid things out. So the flowers and the card front I had designed in black, and I had them cut at the same time. However, I put the 2 different colors of cardstock on my mat and had them cut out at the same time. And I hid the hello. So then I just went ahead and put my vinyl on after cutting the paper. I haven't moved anything off the mat. I went ahead and put the vinyl on, and then went back into Design Space, turned off the look of everything that was going to be cut with the cardstock, turned on the element needed for cutting out the word or the sentiment, and had it cut over here in the corner. So it's all on the same mat, cut at 2 times. So once for paper, once for vinyl. And now I'm going to remove everything and set up to work on the card front. All right, so I have my word weeded now, and I'm going to put my transfer film on top. And a lot of times when I'm dealing with text or an element that's going to have such little thin detailed lines like so, I will go ahead and cut it out in vinyl instead of paper for my card making. So now we are ready to start building our card, and I just want to check my design and make sure that I have it facing the way that I want it. It could go either direction, but this is going to be the front because I had some tears on the back of the paper. I am going to turn it over so that I can now glue these flowers onto the back. So I'm just going to, with my glue bottle, travel around the outside of the flowers. And I like, for this kind of work, I like using wet glue because it allows you a bit of time to move elements around. So that is something to think about when you are putting your pieces together. So for this project, I am going to use wet glue for all the different parts. And then I'm going to look at my flowers, and you can see here that one side is dull and one side has a little texture shiny. And so I want that texture shiny bit to be face up. So I'm going to make sure I do that as I glue these down. And the glue that I'm using will dry clear, so I don't have to worry about that. And we can see how nice these fit into their space. And now I'm just going to flip this over just to double check, and everything with the flowers look good. And so now I am ready to glue this down to the front of my card. So I'm going to go ahead and generous glue in some of these areas. And then these are thick enough that I can touch them with my little glue bottle and get them to stick down. Now this design came with all of these elements that you could cut out. So if you wanted to cut out the little stars, kind of like starfish to me, or if you want to cut out these swirls and layer them on top of your design, you could do that. There was some elements that could be square or the side. So you could put this on a notepad, a journal cover. I'm doing a card with it, but the design is flexible enough that, you know, you can use it in multiple ways. All right, so, and also changing your colors, different from what I'm doing here, will also have a different outcome, different look to it. So I'm going to stick this down, looking to try to eyeball center. That's not bad. All right, give it a push. Sometimes I will even turn it over and give it a nice rub to make sure that it is sticking well. Any glue that oozes out, of course, is going to dry clear, so I don't have to worry about that. But there we are so far. Then I'm going to take my word and get it to transfer to the transfer film. And because of the detail on these cuts, I just want to be really careful pulling this away. All right. And then I can choose how and where to place this. Now I know I want it centered. So once again, I'm just going to kind of look and figure out what feels comfortable to me visually. And that looks good. So I can now rub that down. And now I can peel, transfer away. And there, look at that, really nice metallic. All right, so then the last thing we have to do are our little pearlescent pieces. And this is not necessary, it's just an additional piece I'd like to add to my card. So I'm going to use my pickup tool here and grab them if they're not too heavy. And then once again, you can see the glue is coming out. Ooh, I just shot that one. The glue is coming out from underneath the pearl. I'm okay with it because it's going to dry clear. So we'll just get these guys to go in place. They're big enough I could probably just pick them up with tweezers or pick them up with my hand. I don't have to use this tool for picking them up. But there, that is our finished card.